Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Saturday night, which means it's craft beer night, and the beer we're going for tonight is from Buxton and Omnipollo. It's this one. It is the original Forest Fruits Imperial Ice Cream Stout. As a mouthful for a name, isn't it? Anyway, it is obviously a Forest Fruits inspired ice cream Impy Stout, weighing in at 10% ABV. It's available in your local Tesco for a £5 a can. And yeah, it's one I picked up for the wife because she loves all things forest fruits. Think, you know, the old Black Forest Gatto, things like that. She loves them. And I thought this is going to be kind of up her alley. But she said no, because she doesn't really fancy drinking a beer that's 10%. So fair enough. So it falls to me to enjoy it, hopefully, and see what it's all about. So it doesn't say an awful lot on the side of the can, other than it's an indulgent and luxurious forest fruit ice cream stout with blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, red currants, and black currants from the original ice cream series by Buxton and Omnipollo. It is, of course, brewed at Buxton Brewery in Buxton, and yeah, there we go. So the ingredients do include actual fruit juices, which is nice. I think maybe we'll find out in a bit. But obviously, you've got blackberry, raspberry, red currant, and black currant juices. So we shall see. Will it be anything like my favourite kind of berry things? I had a lovely berry porter from who was it from now? Bateman's. It was nice. I enjoyed it. So hopefully this one is just that, but better. We shall see. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. So as it's an Imperial Stout, I'm drinking it at room temp, and I always prefer my stouts, big ones particularly, at room temp. Just because the flavours pop that little bit more. So pouring into my Titanic goblet glass, and the pour is dark, naturally, it's a stout. It's thick, but not as thick as I was expecting it to pour. There we go, that's your beer in a glass. It is as black as the ace of spades. We've got a nice 1.5 fingers of tan head. Yeah, it's good, doesn't it? Let's be honest, it does look good. So, let's have a whiff, see if it's anything. It smells nice. It smells like an Imperial Stout, and behind it come the fruit notes. They're subtle, and you only get them when you really breathe in deep, and it's at the end of the inhale. So you get your typical stout things going on, the malts, the coffee, a little hint of chocolate, and then you get kind of a sweetness, and then after that sweetness come the berries. Smells nice. Anyway, so looks good, smells good. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. That is fruity. That is incredibly fruity. And a little bit boozy. Not massively boozy, but a little bit. Huge fruit flavour. It's quite nice. The body isn't as heavy as I was expecting it to be. It's kind of medium. And it's silky smooth in the mouth. The carbonation is light, but it is on point. I wouldn't change it. The flavours are, yeah, very, very fruity. You get hints of what is in a stout. You get that roasted coffee flavour. It's quite deep and intense, but it's overpowered by the fruit. And the fruit brings a real kind of tartness to it. You've got that over tart blackcurrant and blueberry thing going on. Raspberries, you know, sometimes they can pull your ass up to your elbows, especially if you pick them a bit early. You've got that kind of thing going on. It's nice. Not as bitter as I was perhaps expecting either, because sometimes with that sweetness, as soon as that fades, you sometimes just get a healthy hit of bitterness. Not getting that. It's quite well balanced. And the finish is unmistakably fruity, but it's on the back end. That's where you get most of the booze, and I can feel it in the back of my throat. And I'm pleasantly surprised. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, before we give this inexplicably long-named beer some points, I want to draw your attention, let's be honest, I don't need to the artwork. It's a big silver poo on the purple can. I know it's meant to be ice cream, but it looks like a poo. And I think the good people at Buxton and Omnipollo know that and are using it to their advantage as a talking point. So, let's give it some points, shall we? My scoreboards of joy, you may notice I'm in a different room today. My spare room come office is now being used as a quarantine space, so I have been not turfed out. I've had to move so that my son can rest easy. But my scoreboard of joys have been rescued along with my lights and camera, and we've got the Buxton and Omnipollo original Forest Fruit Imperial Stout. Had 1,800 check-ins and an average score of 3.68, which is not bad at all. I'll be honest. I think it's all right. Is it better? Let's find out. My scoreboard of joy is currently completely blank, and I have got no room to write the name in it. Look, too small a box. I can't do it. So, the appearance. It's a good-looking beer. It's dark. It had a nice head on it up front. It has faded, sadly, but the beer itself is beautiful. Even holding it up to the lights, you know, only at the very extremes do I get just a hint of mahogany come through, and it is just a tiny hint. It is as dark as they come. Where's my chalk gone? There it is, maybe. No, yeah, there it is. Lost it for a minute there. The looks, I can't fault. I love it. It's going to get a full point. The aroma is not as strong on the fruit as I expected it to be. I expected more, but you get plenty of what makes an Imperial Stout nice on the nose. Namely the coffee notes, the slight vanilla sweetness, the roasted malts, all work lovely on the nose. And you get a tiny hint of what's to come from the fruit. And like I say, it's right at the back end that you get that fruity note. And it's nice. Is it perfect? Almost. I would like just a little bit more of the fruit to come through. I'm going to give it the 0.75. The body, I was slightly disappointed with. I was expecting it to be heavier at 10% ABV. I've had beautiful stouts that have been brewed by Buxton and Omnipollo. What was it called? It was the one they dressed up as a KKK member. That was a beautiful beer, and it was as thick as they come. This is a little bit too light for an Imperial Stout for my liking. That said, it's not thin. It's just not up to where I'd expect it to be at that ABV point. The carbonation is lovely though, and the mouthfeel is superb. I'm going to give it the 0.75 there as well. The taste I really like. I was expecting less of the fruit based on the nose, but you get a beautiful, healthy, fruity kick, and thankfully, you know, the adjuncts live up to their name. You've got all that fruit, you've got a little bit of vanilla sweetness that's coming from somewhere, you've got a beautiful coffee note on occasion, and you've got a nice roasted malt behind a lot of it. It's pretty damn tasty. I'm going to give it a point. And the finish. That's the one thing that I would change completely. I say completely. I'd change fairly heavily, shall we say. I would like a little bit more roasted bitterness to come through. Just the real kind of DNA of an Imperial Stout is missing on the back end, and that's the thing that I love about many of them, is that bitterness, that roasted malt, that coffee, that chocolate that's coming through, and it's completely overpowered on the back end by the fruit. So it's going to get the 0.5, which means we have 1.5 to 4 out of 5 for the older OG Imperial Stout with forest fruits from Buxton and Omnipollo. So does it represent good value for money? At a £5 a can, it's a big ask for a supermarket beer. Would I pay a £5 for it again? I'm not sure, if I'm honest. I really wouldn't necessarily pay another £5 for it. There have been equally delicious, well, more delicious stouts at much more sensible prices available in the supermarkets. Zaya from the London Beer Factory was superb. A beautiful tiramisu Imperial Stout. Not as strong, but more tasty and thicker and heavier and just delicious. The Big Milk Stout as well was superb. And of course, the one that everyone knows from Brewdog, with the Vietnamese Nitro Coffee Stout. That was lovely, and again, cheaper. So I don't think it represents particularly good value for money, which is a shame because, you know, the supermarkets, and Buxton in particular, have put some bangers into the supermarkets, like Kingslayer, have been absolutely superb price points. Would I buy it again? I would actually. I would buy it again, but I might see if it goes on a club card deal or something like that at Tesco, because I like the flavour. I like the fact that it's a big hitter and I can sip it and enjoy it slowly, but, you know, it just could be a little bit better value. And it can't have any bonus points, I'm afraid, because it didn't get the full 5 out of 5. So there we go. We've got 4 out of 5 and a buy again tick for good measure. So there we go. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, from my living room to you, I'm just going to say that has been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got the like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of as you wish. And me and the Silver Poo will see you again later on. Bye.